Well, hi guys, welcome to Talk English Club. My name is Fabio, and on this video, we're going to read Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Roll the intro. While laughter rang out from the dwarf's cottage, the wicked queen began her journey to find Snow White. Disguised as a peddler woman, she took a boat across the moat that separated the castle from the forest. She placed the basket of shiny red apples at her feet. On top was the poison fruit intended for Snow White. The next morning, the dwarfs prepared for another day at their diamond mine. Each one said goodbye to Snow White, and, as he did, received a kiss on the head in return. Even Grumpy didn't seem to mind much being kissed by the princess. "Now, I'm warning you," he said, "don't let anybody into the house." "Why, Grumpy?" she exclaimed. "You do care." After she had waved goodbye to the dwarfs, Snow White decided to make them a pie for dessert that night. Her animal friend looked on as she mixed the dough and rolled it out. She especially wanted to make the pie for Grumpy because he seemed to have a sweet side to him after all. While Snow White worked, she thought about the handsome prince she had met at the castle. Well, she wished he would find her, then she would feel truly safe. Suddenly, the queen, disguised as a old woman, appeared outside the window, interrupting Snow White's daydream. The animals, becoming frightened, scurried away to hide inside cupboards and behind furniture. "I see you're making a pie," the hag said in a gravely voice, "and I have just the thing. It's apple pies that make the menfolk's mouth water." She held a beautiful, shiny red apple out to Snow White. "Go on, have a bite." The animals sensed something terrible was about to happen and emerged from their hiding places. They went outside and tried to chase the hag away. Snow White didn't understand why they were behaving badly, so she shooed them off. As she invited the old woman inside, the animals raced into the forest to get help from the dwarfs. The animals ran and flew as quickly as they could. When they finally reached the diamond mine, they found the dwarfs hard at work. The animals pulled and tugged at their clothing, trying to tell them that Snow White was in danger. "They aren't acting this way for nothing," Grumpy said. "Maybe the Queen's got Snow White," Sleepy said with a yawn. The Queen? That was it. There was no time to lose. The dwarfs grabbed their picks and clubs and ran to the rescue. They didn't know it, but they were too late. Snow White had already taken a bite of the poison apple and was lying lifeless on the floor. The Queen cackled with glee. The only thing that can save her now is a kiss from the one who truly loves her. But no prince will ever find her in this great big forest. Still, in her disguise, the wicked queen ran out of the cottage. The bright sunshine had been replaced by dark, threatening clouds, and the air was damp and cold. At that moment, the dwarfs neared the clearing and saw the queen fleeing into the forest with the help of the animals. They chased her through the trees. The sound of thunder boomed overhead and lightning flashed in the sky. The rain began to pour down. The dwarfs could hardly see, but they managed to trap the queen on a narrow cliff. She began prying a large boulder loose, intending to send it toppling onto the dwarfs below. The queen's laughter echoed as the boulder began to move. "Look out!" cried Grumpy to the others. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning split the air and struck the part of the cliff where the queen was standing. The piece of rock broke away and sent the queen falling into the blackness far below, never to be heard from again. To be continued.